my boss so much. They just keep overwatering me and overworking me. Don't they understand that photosynthesis takes time? And I like to dry out 100% in between watering. That fucking bitch watered me at 4:45 on a Friday. I quit. I'm gonna die.
So I work with houseplants for a living, and I thought it'd be fun to share some common houseplants that have skincare benefits. Lavender can take the itch out of a bug bite. Rose is thought to act as an antioxidant. My favorite, though, is aloe vera, because it hydrates the skin. It's fun to find skincare that has your houseplants in it. It's extra fun when those products work for sensitive skin and they aren't tested on animals, like this Clean and Clear body.
Here we have the aloe vera. It is the medicinal kind. There are tons of different kinds of aloe out there, so if you're looking for the medicinal benefits, you know, the cuts, the scrapes, the burns, that sort of thing, then you make sure you get the aloe vera. The succulent, so it won't live this far away from the window. We've got to bring it much closer so that the leaves are looking out at a wide view of the sky, preferably from an east, west, or south-facing window. As far as watering goes, we just let all of the soil dry out in between watering. So if there's wet soil in your pot, just wait. They're very drought tolerant. They store a ton of moisture in their leaves. So if you're not sure if it's 100% dry, just wait. So we're doing 100% drought, 100% flood, drought, flood. Make sure there's always drainage. When it's time to repot this guy, we use 100% cactus soil or succulent soil. It's the same thing. And just go up one pot size. It's gonna do it for the aloe vera. A really handy, great plant and easy to grow around the house. Very useful as well. Get you one.
Hi, I'm Brandon the plant guy, and I'm here to tell you to stop feeling bad if you have yellow leaves on your plant. It is normal in many cases. Let me show you a couple things you can do to double check that you're not killing your plant. If you see a yellow leaf, usually older leaves are closer to the soil. That just is older leaves falling off. It's normal for that to happen. So if you see a yellow leaf that's closer to the soil, such as this one, all you have to do is pull it off and say thank you for your service. The second thing you can do is inspect the plant. Make sure that there aren't any spider mites or any kind of fungal infection in the soil. You want to look at your plant and make sure that it's otherwise healthy. If your plant is otherwise healthy, then you're good. You can put your plant back and not worry. Now, if you have a lot of yellow leaves, you want to make sure you're not overwatering that plant. Follow me on TikTok for more plant care videos.
The only surefire way to know you need to repot a plant is to check the roots, and you should check them more often than I check this bird of paradise. This is called root bound. You can see the roots starting to grow in the shape of the pot. At this point, they're starting to choke themselves out, and it's not good for the plant because it's a slow, delicate process to untangle.
Your fig trees are dying because you aren't giving it enough light. The only windows in my apartment are behind me, and believe it or not, this is not getting enough light.
Here's where your fig tree needs to be.
Right smack in front of the window. Make sure that your fig tree can see the sky. The only exception to this is do not put your fig tree out on your patio underneath direct sun. That will burn the leaves. And I have seen fig trees burn in south and west facing condos with floor to ceiling windows.
I have aroids, and generally aroids do very well in leca. Start with a cheap plant with thick roots that you don't mind killing, such as Monstera deliciosa or a Syngonium.
Y'all know what it is. Plant watering and pest prevention, like we're preventing homophobic and misinformed men for spreading stigmas about HIV and labeling it a gay disease. Water with mosquito bits tea to kill fungus gnats within the mix until it drains through the bottom hole. Like it's draining that suspect heterosexual men stay worried about gay men because they're afraid to come out of the closet themselves. Use Super Thrive for vitamins, ensuring that the mix is well draining to prevent rot. Like these closeted men's rotten brain cells for believing that HIV and AIDS kills in 2 weeks of contraction. Place bigger plants in the shower and allow the water to rinse all dirt and dust off the leaves. Then repeat in water with mosquito bits tea and Super Thrive. Spray the leaves with neem oil to prevent leaf bugs like spider mites, allowing it to dry down completely before sitting it in the sun. Allow them to sit for 45 minutes to absorb humidity. Only place them back in indirect sunlight when the neem has fully dried, or it'll cause the leaves to discolor and burn. These plants are thriving because they're burning into homophobic men's heads that is discriminating against gay people. Don't make them more masculine and spreading lies about a disease and sites.
Hi, I'm Brandon the plant guy, and I sell houseplants for a living. Like a lot of houseplants for a living. One way you can keep your plants moist and happy is by using a continuous fine misting bottle, not a spray bottle. Continuous fine misting bottles, when you squirt them, have a really fine mist. Now, when you're spraying your plants, you want to make sure you spray them evenly, and you'll see that the fine mist gives your plants that dewy look, which they absolutely love because that's what they get in the jungle. Lesson of the day, buy a continuous fine misting bottle if you don't have a humidifier, or if you do, it'll help either way. Follow me on TikTok for more plant care videos.
Lighting is the most important aspect of houseplant care. It doesn't matter if you do the perfect watering, have the perfect fertilizer and humidity, if you don't have the right light, nothing else will matter. Now, because the way the earth is tilted, we have a hierarchy, a light hierarchy, and in the northern hemisphere it goes like this. South has our longest exposure of light, so it's typically our brightest windows. West is next, and then east, and then north. But it's important to note that north does not provide bright light year-round. In the spring and summer months, it's perfectly fine, but in the fall and winter months, it just doesn't have long enough days to give us that bright light. In this video, I'm going to show you how we teach how to interpret the difference between bright light, medium light, and low light. We determine light by the plant's view of the sky and the direction it faces. This is a south-facing window with a wide view of the sky, so this would be considered bright light. This is also a south-facing window, but you can see the plant's view of the sky is very little because of the awning and the mature tree we have outside. This would be considered more of a medium to low light scenario. This is an east-facing window, and you can see we have our ficus up here because it's a very bright window with a very wide, unobstructed view of the sky. I want to show you more specifically what we mean by a plant's view of the sky. Let's look at this peace lily, for example. I'm going to get right down on its level and see what its leaves see. This has a view of the sky, although it's not quite as wide. We would consider that a more medium scenario. Let's check this Aglaonema. Now, we're quite a ways away from the window. This is an east-facing window, and there's very little view of the sky. That's definitely a low light scenario. You can see here that the shop is bright. There's lots of light coming in, but we are very far away from the window. So consequently, there is no view of the sky. This would be considered an ambient light situation. No plant would do well in an ambient light situation for an extended period of time.
Okay, so after dealing with this thrip problem for months, I think I finally have 100% proof on how to get rid of them and keep them away. I've come to my conclusions through trial and error, so don't come for me. You already have thrips or you just want to keep them away, systemic granules in the soil. If you're bringing home a new plant or you're scared about thrips, or if you already have thrips, make sure you put your plant in the shower, spray it down, wash off all the leaves, and then use some Bondi insect control. This stuff is like... You really want to pull out the big guns. Insecticidal soap. This stuff is like a nuke. My alocasia stingray is probably the most infected, but I used it last night, and all the thrips are basically just dead. They're not even moving. They're all dead.
Hey plant friends, I'm Kate at California Carnivores, and today I want to share with you my latest plant obsession. So this is a little sundew. This is called Drosera madagascariensis, and it's from South Africa and from the island of Madagascar, where it gets its name. And this little guy is, it's closely related to all the South African subtropical sundews. The best known one is the Cape sundew. And just like those awesome Cape sundews, this guy is extremely easy to grow. It grows really well in a sunny windowsill. Just keep it sitting in a little tray of rainwater or distilled water. It also, because of its size, we think it's going to do great in a little terrarium. So it's a really great terrarium plant. These guys, they have these nice little stems, so they can actually grow kind of tall. And I've read that they can grow up to 1 foot tall. And you can let it climb up something, otherwise it'll kind of fall over and start trailing. But I wanted to show you too, this is our display pot. And they just do this natural cycling with the stems. So once the stems get a certain size, they kind of die back. But don't worry, because they always start growing new little shoots at the base of their stems. So if you're looking for a new, easy to grow sundew that doesn't need a winter dormancy, you can something to add to your windowsill collection or into your terrarium that you're dying to make, I highly recommend this little Drosera madagascariensis. I think you will be obsessed with it too because it's so dang cute.